cool. Boom. Okay. I know I'm set to my be right back screen. I'm just... I don't know. I don't have a game set up, so I don't have anything. Oh yeah, I don't have to... This link still works, yeah? God, it's been forever since I still need to actually change. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay. Bam. Move the chat. I said move the chat. Thank you. Now I need to figure out how to game to play. Oh God, what do I want to play? Do I want to play multiplayer? Do I want to play single player? What do I want to do? Well, it's a question of just like, I mean, I suppose there's also the question of just like, what would you guys want to watch me play? Hey, Red. Yeah, you can make it. Yes, I know there's nothing going on right now. I should... Hang on. Just for some kind of background thing. I'm just gonna get this going. Just so it's not silence and only my voice. Yep, good. That's what I want. I did say it's a vibe stream, so. Put that back at the beginning, please. And that's not back to the beginning. There we go. All right. There it is. There. Okay. Just so there's something playing in the background. Just, yeah. I did say vibe stream. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to play. And that is someone that just popped into my Discord. That is Nerzel. Hey, Nerzel.
Oh, party people.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Speak up again.
Hello, party people.
I got multiple people saying it's just like, hey, we need a second player. I know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to play is the thing. I'm just going through my Steam list, and God, I got a selection of games. I'm just kind of going through them. Like, I know not all of them are multiplayer, but like, yes, I have. I can't do Soul Mask. I have mod that YouTube and Twitch would not allow. I can do more Gold Adventure Gold. I got a campaign going with that one, and I found an absolutely busted ability. So once again, like, I've already won the run. It's just a matter of, like, how much longer do I want it to go? Honestly, I should probably just end that run and start fresh, because I got this ridiculous power where it's just like, if anything dies in my vision, all enemies receive damage. And if the damage causes an enemy to die, then the damage change and multiplies for every single enemy that dies. I've had a level 30 boss instantly die because one of its weakest minions got killed, and it just set off a chain reaction, and then everybody was dead. It's so overpowered. And then I also had... Well, Jara's not here, but I got gifted Factorio. Then there's still Zombiehood, which is a fun roguelike game. And even then, I still have, like, other games on my list that, like, I still want to fully explore. I have Pizza Tower, for crying out loud, which... God, watching, like, high skill level players go through that game is fucking nuts. And I would love to be able to do that. Just that shit looks awesome. I need to play it. And then there's like, oh, what else do I have on here that like I've not fully played? There's also Absalom, which I'm still like enjoying. I haven't played it in a long while, but that's because like I'm trying to explore all these other games. Like, God, there's just so many. It's just so many. I don't even know where to go, where to start, or what to pick. I have Diplomacy is not an option, which I've still yet to fully play that, which is a fun game. There's Vane, there's... Oh, God. I have Ball Pit, I have Monsters Are Coming, which are two other indie games that released earlier. There's Peak, which apparently has another update.
That it does, that it does.
Like, there's just... One of the problems I have, there's just so many games, and all of them are just... Ah. I mean, hell, I recently, because it was on sale for like $2, I picked up a game from my childhood, Swine. It's literally a tank RTS game where the only thing you have are just the units. You don't do any base building or anything. And in the campaign, your units carry over between missions and they gain experience and level up. So you have to be tactically careful about how you use your units so they can get stronger, and you only have so many resources that you can use in between missions to either get new units or get supplies to keep your units in the fight for longer. And it's a little janky nowadays, but it's still fun. Or at least I find it fun.
Yeah.
Just... And I mean, hell, there's also... I don't even have to do gaming. I'm into the editing phase for my novel as well. And I haven't done a writing stream in forever either. and it'd be a good way to just kind of like, I don't know, just show off my writing, show off what's going to happen, what's coming, and just do a little behind the scenes of what it means to be making a book. But I also know that's like, I mean, no, because it is one of the big things that I stand on. I am an author. That is part of my, I'll say, online identity. I make books, and I have art of those characters that I like to show off. Obviously, it's not my, I'm thinking about putting my avatar into, like, something in my writing. I'm playing with the idea of, like, giving him his own book, or just having him take part in the same world as Lethia and the others, which probably would happen, because, I mean, I've spent so much time building that world. But in the same breath, one of the core problems Adrian faces isn't as pronounced in that fantasy world, because there is a goddess of death and magic, so necromancy isn't outlawed as harshly. There's regulations to it, but there's nothing that outright bans it, because it's very much not a natural magic, but a lot of magics aren't natural, and there is definitely far worse. So it's like, I'm going on a tangent here. I don't know. I'm just talking because I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I should have just Poe just like in the corner of my thing going chit chat. It's like, I know. Shush. But like, it is something I want to do in my streams as well. Not always just gaming, but also just story writing and playing with the idea of voice acting, for crying out loud, because like, I know I have an easy to project voice. It is clear, it is deep, it is concise. I just saw a post on Twitter of someone being like, if I'm gonna be like a VTuber, like CEO person or whatever, you know, like one of those talent agencies, I want to have like people with like the deep voices that would be making like Dark Souls or Elden Ring ASMRs. Just like, welcome back to the campfire, young knights. Rest and take refuge in the shelter while you can, and ready yourself for the next fight. But until then, lay your head, rest, and know that for the time being, you are safe among friends. Like shit like that. And if I'm given a script like that, I'm pretty sure I could do that kind of thing. I need to pick Elden Ring back up. I have a new computer for it. It would run smoothly, and I know some of my streams were Dark Souls. Oh god, I still remember the last time I streamed Dark Souls. And when I say last, like the last time I just played it, and I just got run. I had lost like close to 100,000 souls, and I'm still on like file 1. I'm trying to get them back, and what gets me killed is this fucking rolling beetle. It doesn't even do that much damage, but it hit me in the right way that it just pushed me off a ledge. I fell and died, and there goes all the souls. It's like, and I've never completed Dark Souls 3. The worst part is that that's not even an area that's required for the game. It's an area that's off to the side. I don't even have to be doing that area. I still have to figure out what my preferred weapon in Elden Ring actually is. 'Cause, like, I've kind of always been a sword and board person, but I also like two-handing the great swords. Not the ultra great swords, just the normal great swords. Because it just... I like the power behind them. I like feeling the weight behind them, the power, the damage, the reach. I also enjoy wielding banhammers to smite fools and bots out of my streams. just get a bit of Thor's thunder behind that bitch and just Right, you're my moderator. God.
Well, it's a good thing. That just means he's on top of everything.
The funny thing about me, like, doing the voice acting thing is that I actually did download a program to do voice recordings. And I even have, like, another writer that gave me permission to use their writing to practice doing voice work and what have you. My nerves keep stopping me from doing it. Like, I'll do this. I'll stream. I'll be live. This does not play on my nerves. This is just whether I have the energy for it or not, which I'm slowly getting more energy back. I mean, this week felt like it's been a bit of a taxing week. I've been tackling things that have been leaving me feeling tired. I mean, hell, I've had a nap for 2 of the last 5 days, which doesn't feel good, but I mean, the nap feels good, but it doesn't feel good that my energy ran so low that I had to have a nap. But, yeah, but I'm still here because I enjoy doing this. I like doing this. I've said this before, and I know I'll say it again, and I'm going to repeat myself saying it over and over and over again because I like being an entertainer, and it's why I'm here. It's why I do these things. Would it be nicer to have more people watching me? Oh, 100%, absolutely. But whether it's one person, whether it's just right now Red in the chat and you in the call, or not even anyone there, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be trying because this is what I would like to be doing. Even if not for a profession, I enjoy doing it just as a hobby because I like being an entertainer, and it makes me feel good when I make other people enjoy themselves or relax or catch a breath or just find just a laugh, find solace, or just find something to enjoy in what I do. Even if I'm not the greatest out there right now, at the very least, I know that there is someone that is enjoying my presence, and that alone feeds my desire to keep doing this. Because I'm giving someone else a chance to just enjoy themselves. That was a tangent.
Aye.
I'm not going to... I'm not going to be ashamed of that tangent, but hey. God. Right, so... What am I gonna do for stream today? What am I gonna do for stream today? What do I wanna do? What do I wanna do? Okay. Okay. Huh. Popular. I'm sorry, sorry for the silence. I'm actually just kind of looking over the Slay of the Spire update, and they're breaking down who the most popular character is. I'm actually not too surprised. Ironclad, Silent, Defect being the three most popular characters, specifically Ironclad and Silent, that feels appropriate. And then Defect, Regent, Necrobinder. It kind of sucks to see Necrobinder the lowest, but at the same time, everybody's like so close.
A little sad because Regent should be kicking the ball out of the water. With his personality, he should be winning by default.
Well, I know you're a Regent main.
That I am.
But like, nah, it's all actually genuinely quite close, which is really cool to see. Like, any creator would love to see this kind of split. Because it's so close, it could shift so easily, and that's good. Like, the most drastic difference is literally 7%. How much potential each character has and how easy difficult it is to get them going. I can sort of see why you say that, especially since the Ironclad is the most... Well, it's also the fact that, like, it also goes by unlock order as well, because to get the Silent, you play the Ironclad. To get... What was the order? Ironclad, Silent, Regent, Necrobinder, Defect. So part of it is also the order in which the characters are unlocked. I can understand the Defect being able to overshoot the other two because the Defect is a returning character. So there are people from the previous game that are familiar with how Defect works. The Regent and the Necrobinder being the two newer characters. But because the Regent and the Necrobinder are locked behind Ironclad and Silent, especially since there are some people that, and I think we actually had this discussion. Some people want to try and beat the game with one character first before going on to the next one. Which I can understand that, because you want to have a victory before you move on. Which is fair. So I think that would also be one of the reasons why Ironclad and Silent are two of the more played characters, because they're the first ones that get unlocked. So people are also not only familiar with them because they're from the previous game, but also just the fact that because they're the first 2 characters you play, people automatically get more familiar with them out the gate. In theory.
True.
I'm talking speculation. I'm not a I'm not the person that has the capacity to deep dive into all those things, and even then I don't have the data to pull on from that. I'm just making speculation based on the numbers that I'm just seeing on my screen right now, which I know you guys can't see, but there's a reason I'm not showing my monitor, because I write an 18-plus book. I have 18-plus art on my desktop background. I do not want to get in trouble from YouTube or Twitch. I know that, like, I'm too small for either to really care, but even then, I have nephews that will sometimes try and want to watch or join my stream, because the one really likes playing Absalom with me, which is cool, it's adorable. I need to be very conscious about what I actually allow to get onto my stream.
After all, it's a family picture.
A family picture. God, how long has it been since I quoted Doug Walker like that? Okay. Huh. Oh, there's a... Okay. Anyways. I don't know what I feel like playing. I know that I've heard that there's been a lot of unfortunate recent controversy with the recent patch. I haven't played it since then. I mean, someone in my friend list has given it a negative review score, which feels kind of bad. Yeah, early access balance changes. Well, yes. Not been very popular. Quality of the underlying game, however, remains as strong, if not stronger than the original. Which is fair. Like, you can't... Okay, I like... So I'm just scrolling through the reviews for Slay Spire 2, and it's just like, Primal Rage! Rock! 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 It's like, yes! This person gets it! Yes. I love the primal card so much. Oh my god. It's so silly. I love it. It's just the equivalent. It's just the equivalent of just bashing someone over the head repeatedly with any blunt object you can get your hands on. Just... Ah! Oh, I love that card. On the other hand, I might just... Honestly, just having a chill stream and just kind of talking games and what have you actually doesn't seem like a bad idea. I don't mind that. I wish I had a better screen for doing that instead of just my BRB screen, but I don't have... I guess if I get money, I suppose actually that wouldn't be a bad idea to get. Just get a splash screen for when I'm like, not when I'm like in between games or something like that. That's not just my be right back screen, but just something that's like a decent placeholder between streams, or not between streams, but like either between games or just when having just kind of chill talk sessions like this. And honestly, it actually kind of feels good to be doing that. Just having a chat stream. Just talking, being casual, just having a vibe, having a hangout, just being, I don't know, chill and peaceful. Alright, Red. Hey, I mean, honestly, if people actually find my voice comforting enough to fall asleep to, that would be, I'd be cool with that as well. I know that falls into the ASMR territory, which I have absolutely no experience in, but at the same time, like, hey, I throw YouTubers and streamers up when I go to bed just to have some kind of voice in the background. Granted, I don't always throw ASMR stuff, because, hilariously, I find that to be a little too slow for me. I mean, hell, I'm the kind of person that, like, when I was a kid, when I was young, I would literally throw on Disturbed as I go to bed.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
That's something I would do.
Just lay my head on the pillow, go to bed, have pleasant dreams. While the lead singer of Disturbed is just screaming heavy metal. I was a silly kid, but yeah, no, if I'm playing anything in the background, there has to be at least some kind of energy to it, otherwise it's not enough to stop my brain from being too active for me to fall asleep. And that's one of the frustrating things about me, and I know it, is that it's hard for me to fall asleep in silence. When there is silence and I'm already asleep, I'm fine, because then I'm no longer conscious about it. But if there's silence, not all nights, but some nights, I just struggle to fall asleep because my brain is just wanting to be active, wanting to be doing something, and then I can't fall asleep because it's just, hey, we're trying to do something, It's just like, no, we're not. It's midnight. Shut up. just let me sleep.
What if I don't want to let you sleep?
That's your problem, because then you'll not function. We need sleep so you can function, damn it.
It's not good for you. It's bad for you.
And then at that point, I would just throw something on to drown that out and just have something to distract my brain enough so that it's not making any noise. Even though I have something random, like, this is something I learned not that long ago, and I do unironically actually play this as I'm trying to sleep. Somebody made Minesweeper Plus, and it's full on Minesweeper. It's exactly what Minesweeper is, with difficulty levels, chapters in a campaign, and fucking boss fights. Fucking boss fights in Minesweeper.
That just sounds weird.
But like, it sticks to the mechanics of what Minesweeper is, which is kind of clever. Like, it doesn't force you to do anything drastically different. Because, like, Minesweeper, the challenge is, can you complete the map without setting off any bomb in as short a time as possible? That's the kind of core of Minesweeper. The first thing is, can you beat the map? When you get good enough to routinely beat it, then it becomes how fast can you beat it. Minesweeper Plus, there's like an adventure mode thing, so that there's different maps that offer different challenges. The only real difference of things that you get is that you have a scanner sweep, which can help you out when you're having a hard time. It doesn't reveal everything, but it kind of gives you... Well, I've not played it. I've only watched high skill people play it, and what it is that they will literally just like flash it just to try and kind of hint out what squares are safe and what not, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. But the reason why they do that is because the scanner suite takes money, and during the boss fight, you need the money in order to buy the extra life to try again. Because in the current version that I'm aware of, there's 3 boss fights. The first one you run into is also the hardest, because instead of in normal Minesweeper, where it's not... you're not under time pressure, you take as long as you need to clear the board. The challenge is just not activating any of the mines, except this game gives you 3 chances, and you can get shields in adventure mode as you complete maps that give you extra chances. But the shields, when you lose a shield, is permanently gone. The chances themselves refresh after every level. The first boss, though, forces a strict time limit, and if you either A, do not finish the map fast enough, or B, in order to finish the map you have to not just complete the entire board, but also click the actual mine itself, which is constantly moving and also rearranging the mines on the board. So you have to clear the board without accidentally clicking the number 9 mine, because that's what it is, before clearing the board, because if you also accidentally click on it, you instantly lose. As well as if the timer hits 0, you instantly lose. And then the second boss fight after that is the number 10 mine. And in this one, you have a constant 10-second timer. If that timer hits 0, you automatically lose. However, you can click the mine to reset it back to 10. However, every time you click it, it starts moving, and it moves faster and faster and faster every time you click the mine. And every time you click on a mine on the board, it causes its countdown to count faster. So you're no longer, so it's not just a matter of not making too many mistakes, but the more mistakes you have, the harder it gets to clear the board. And then there's the number 11 minefield, where that one forces you to play flagless. So I have no idea how many people actually knew this. I didn't even know this when I was originally playing Minesweeper. If you right-click a space, you put a flag there. That's how you're supposed to flag where the mines are. That's how you're supposed to tell yourself, hey, there's a mine here. That's what...
Yeah. That is the classic way of playing Minesweeper.
Yeah. The number 11 mine, if you run out of flags, you die. So it forces you to play flagless, and it is constantly placing flags randomly around the board. So you have to play Minesweeper flagless and constantly removing flags that this thing is placing on the board so that you don't run out of flags, because as soon as you run out, you die. And then after beating that, the final challenge of Minesweeper Plus is you have to then complete that map again with all 3 bosses active at once. So you have a 110-second timer, a mine that is constantly counting down from 10 seconds that you have to regularly click on, and another one that is constantly placing down false flags that if your flags hit 0, you instantly lose. So there's 4 arguably instant loss situations. Run out of time? Forget to click the number 10 mine, or run out of flags, or accidentally click the number 9 mine when there are still mines to be found. And I sleep to people attempting to beat that on the highest fucking difficulty. And I don't know why I'm able to sleep to that, but I do. And it has like...
You don't want to know what I sometimes put on when I try to sleep.
Okay, what do you put on when you go to bed?
I have a playlist of 24-hour long or 10-hour long things, extremely annoying things like "I got a jar of dirt," or "This is Sparta," or other horrible things like that.
Wait. Okay, when you say "This is Sparta," like, is it just him?
The remix. This is Sparta.
It's the song. This is Sparta. This is Sparta. Oh God.
Yes, and I'll sleep to this, no issue.
Okay, that's more intense than mine. That's hilarious.
And I hate that I do, and I have a playlist of multiple things similar, by the way. It's not just that.
That is funny and painful all in the same breath.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh,
that's only the tip of the iceberg.
Oh
no. Let me just go ahead. I'll just list a few things for you, buddy.
Oh no.
For, like I said, it's a playlist of minimal 10-hour vids. Alright.
Excuse me.
You got a jar of dirt. This is Sparta. Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
I don't think that one's annoying.
It can be when you have a 10-hour loop of it.
Fair, but...
Desu Desu Desu. Fukurita. Ayaya. And then 2 of my personal favorites that I will listen to loop even when I'm not going to sleep. Which are honestly very good and entertaining parody songs, but when you have them on 10-hour loops, it's a little different. Seagulls, Stop It Now, and My Stick. You see, such things are quite more, shall we say, intense.
Brother.
So my stick is better than bacon. My stick. Oh, come now. It is nothing at all to do with anything inappropriate. It's talking about my walking stick. Come now. What did you think I was talking about? It was bent from a log. I found a log that fell down. That's where I found my mighty stick. And you see, and when I saw it, it gave birth to a mighty little stick.
Alright.
Oh, I'm butchering that. That's okay.
You don't always have to get the music lyrics completely right. Yeah, right now I'm kind of going back to just like talking is nice and having a chill stream is nice. I still feel like I want to do something.
Something. Well, if you're just doing chill stream and you're just trying to chit-chat for it, there's always doing something casual like a basic city builder like King of Reborn as an example. Because it's chill. It's not, you're doing it just, there's something there as you chit-chat.
That's fair.
Mind you, I'm just using that game as an example. It's not like you have to use that game. Mind you, if you did want to do that game, I'd be quite happy to do so.
Fair enough, fair enough. I'm just kind of going through my Steam library again. Apparently I had April minimized, so there's a few games that I accidentally skipped over. Yeah. There's another game that had an update. I picked up Ravenfield some time ago because they now have like a roguelike campaign mode.
Mm-hmm.
And they recently dropped an update. They're experimenting with it. They're just calling it arcade mode. They're experimenting with it. They've just made another update to it where like now after every round you gain coins based on your performance. And I'm just kind of reading this aloud as I go. Yeah, presented with a shop screens page, you can spend your coins to unlock things. Okay. Updated the map selection screen to be more stylish. Hey, and it actually tells you what deployable... It actually straight up tells you the deployable vehicles. Vehicle reinforcement mutator. Periodically spawn aerial vehicles even on maps without runways. Oh. Picking River Delta above which does not have air vehicle spawns. Bots will still spawn in any air vehicles you've unlocked throughout the campaign. Ooh, okay, that's kind of cool. So you can actually have like an air brigade literally just fly in as reinforcements. Nice. Output, surround sound, increase maximum voice count, more sounds can play at once. Added a shop, coins are earned, earn bonus gold by getting a sparkly license plate in the vehicle, unlock minigame. Really? Receive bonus coins past your performance, you get extra coins from kill streaks, controlling as many flights as possible, destroying vehicles and more. Vehicle reinforcement mutator, new arcade victory animations, including a flawless victory one that shows up if you beat arcade mode without losing a single round. Nice. Campaign results screen, couple of new sound effects. Last round is now always daytime. Honestly good, because like they had the last round always be nighttime, so it's either you play with night vision on, or you play it off. And there's apparently a number of people that don't like having the night vision on, which I can kind of understand. I like having the night vision on because I like being able to see. And you know which one are friendlies, because the friendlies flash. Friendlies will flicker in your night vision. Enemies are solid. So it's just to shoot the solid targets. But they changed it so that the last round is daytime, so that the ending, because as soon as you win in the final fight, it just goes to your character standing there in victory. But it does it in whatever viewpoint you have. So seeing yourself in night vision, it looks kind of rough. Added no light and match length configuration to arcade, but ooh. Length of battle rounds. Okay. But I do appreciate that, because, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan about night battles. Audio improvements. Blah, 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 blah. By taking over bot and skirmish mode, you're now guaranteed to spawn with a little bit of ammo. Good, because taking over a bot that burned all their ammo fucking sucks. I died. Okay, time to take control of a bot. They have no ammunition whatsoever. God damn it, I'm useless. Oh well. The resync system? Okay, Eversiege resync system. Co-op resync system. Oh! Okay. Okay. What's next on the roadmap? Good progress on what's coming next. We're almost ready to share more. Dedicated news post soon covering the awaited mid-run saves. First content update including a much-requested new war gear. Why does it look like another bird? Actually, if anything, I'd say it almost looks like an owl. Still, it's good that they're actually working on a resync system so that if people get dropped, then it doesn't instantly end the game.
Oh, indeed. That is one thing I'm quite happy for.
And I see Fluffy has managed to reach past age -10.
I'm still stuck on 9. I'm like permanently stuck there. It makes me sad. Not because of skill, but because there's always a crash or some RNG sync.
Oof.
At some point during it, every single time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Good assault. I have yet to actually touch Graveyard Keeper, still. I need to play that. Jump Space has a new update. Few. Okay, they're hotfixes. Fair enough. Full engineer suit, level 5, level 7, complete chapter 1. I have so many games in my library. And I hate the fact that I can't figure out. Honestly, that kind of feels like that's just been my week in a nutshell, is that I've been kind of caught in like I'm not sure what I want to play kind of headspace. I even had my nephew over earlier this week, and my nephew wanted to come down onto my computer and play Absalom with me. I wasn't feeling up for it, but he has like that SNES that has like all the old game collections on it, and right now it's actually here at my place because me and my parents wanted to borrow it because they wanted to play it, and my brother and his kids weren't playing it all that often, so it's here right now. And he came over, and my first idea is just like we could play the SNES together because he enjoys playing Turtles in Time with me. And he said that he actually wanted to play Super Mario World with me. I'm just like, sure, we'll do Super Mario World. And it felt nice getting to play a retro game from my childhood with somebody again. It's just like, I know at that moment I kind of realized like it's just like I don't want to play Absalom, not because I don't enjoy it, but because it feels nice to actually have someone with me at the moment enjoying something that I grew up on.
Yep.
And being able to actually teach him how to be better at the game, teach him how some of the things in the game works, how to beat the first boss, how to, I even actually helped him find a secret on his own. It was for the red switch, and the red switch is actually really easy to find because the key, the key in the area where it's found is actually just really easy to see. There's one part in the map that you can't get to unless you actually hit a switch and specifically go in that direction. So it's just like, okay, this is going to be a really easy spot for him to be able to find that secret because it's right there. It's very early in the level. So I just let him repeat the level over and over. When he gets to me, instead of just pushing forward in the game, I would just enter a level that's already completed, start select, exit out, which ends my turn. And goes back to him. I have a huge stockpile of lives because I grew up on Super Mario World. I know where the lives are. I know where the secrets are. I've actually 100% that game before. So it's like, oh hey, by the time we're in Vanilla Dome, I'm already rocking like 30 plus lives. And I've not been grinding. I've just been going. And so I'm just giving him lives so he can keep trying, and eventually he manages to get the secret on his own without me overtly telling him how or where to go. I gave him suggestions of where to look, but he eventually got there on his own, which felt nice. It felt cool. And it was good to actually see him be able to learn and figure that out, especially in today's media where everything is just like, no, it's like, it's instant gratification. Oh, hey, how do I do this? I can just see where it is, and boom, there's the gratification. It's just like, yeah, but that gratification isn't as good as figuring it out yourself, conquering it yourself, finding it, discovering it. You can read a map, and the map will always point you there, and that's cool, but it will never amount the same way as discovering it yourself. There are some things that, like, it's better to have someone help you and show you, yeah, like advanced techniques in a game you think you've already mastered. It's just like, hey, you can actually, if you do this, you can actually get away with doing this. Like, hell, there's actually a technique. Hey, Tsukuyomi Kitsune. In Super Mario World, there's legitimately a technique. It is really hard to time, but you can legitimately wall jump in Super Mario World. Because apparently if you hit the wall at a high enough speed, Mario's sprite will clip into the wall just enough that for a fraction of a second, he will be considered to be on solid ground, and you can hit jump, and he will jump again. It's easier timing if you land onto, like, the corner of, like, a platform or land or something, because then, yes, he'll go sideways, but he'll also go down a little bit, because the game is just, like, it's trying to do the physics of hitting a corner and then trying to decide, are you high enough to go on top of the corner, or are you too low, and are you sitting on the edge, and are you sitting just below the corner? So there's that split second of that calculation in which allows you to do another jump. And that's apparently a thing that a lot of older platformers kind of have similarly, which allows, in some, not all platformers, to do a form of wall jump. And then Mario 64 happened, and then they just made it a part of Mario's kit then and there. Which, fair enough. Makes sense. speaking of Mario 64 and just going into an entirely different tangent, just because I saw this and I think the idea is kind of fun. Absolutely overpowered, but still fun. Somebody modded Link into Super Mario 64 with a bunch of his movesets, including the ability to throw bombs, shoot a bow and arrow. You can blow up Toad, which is hilarious.
But Toad deserves it. After all, he always makes sure the princess is in another castle. We know it's him. He's the one that's moving them.
I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle!
Hey, we know the secret. It's not appropriate, so we won't talk about it, but we all know the secret.
Anyways. Yeah. You can also swing your sword. You actually have a dash attack with your sword. You can down stab, of course, because ever since Zelda 2, anytime Link can move, and almost anytime Link can move. Huh. Actually, no. The only time Link is able to ever down stab is Zelda 2. Zelda 2, because that's where it originated. Some of the Zelda Game Boy games, because I know they go in two directions, but I don't know if I would count that or not, because you don't hold it. It's literally just like, it's the same thing as all his other attacks, so I feel like that one can be argued. But the only other one where Link actually does down stabs... Actually, no, Twilight Princess does down stabs. And then Skyward Sword. And then the ones after that. So, no, I overthought it to a point where I was missing instances where he was doing down stabs. So, never mind, I'm talking out of my ass. What else is new?
Nothing wrong with that every now and then.
Well, if I'm going to be talking out of my ass, I'd rather be talking out of my ass and be right about it, as opposed to be talking out of my ass and making myself look like an ass.
Who needs to not look like an ass? We're all ass. Some, like myself, more often than others.
Yeah. Right now, I couldn't decide what game I wanted to play for stream, so I'm actually just having just a chill, kind of relax talk stream, just chatting, speaking my mind, chilling. I do need to get... I said it already, I know I did, but no, every time I say that, I'm looking at the stream right now, it's just like, God, if I do these kind of streams, I need, like, a proper, just a proper back screen where it's just, like, that can be just used for, like, in-between things, or just when I'm just vibing and talking and chilling. Whether people want to be part of the conversation, or maybe some people are, I don't know, having some hard time sleeping and they just need a voice or something in the background. I don't know. I know I laugh. I know I can be loud. I can be silly and just go on random tangents. But hey, again, I sleep to people panicking, playing, goddamn. I mean, heck, I'll sleep to Doshington. I mean, okay, to be fair, he has a voice like mine, though his is more... I want to say his comes off as more monotone than mine. Mine, I feel, is kind of dynamic. My voice kind of... And it's not to say that his voice doesn't have a dynamic energy to it, but it's more... How do I put it? Actually, let's see if I can get his inflection right. He talks kind of like this, in a very normal sort of tone, that even though his pitch may change, it's still a very set kind of style, sort of thing. I don't know if I got the inflection for him right at all, but he's just kind of like... He's not monotone, but his voice inflection and, I'll say, volume is kind of stable enough so that, like, you know that there's, like, moments where there's, like, a bit of, like, sarcasm or emotion and what have you, but it still kind of hovers on the same sort of wavelength of whatever he's speaking, so that, like, even when he gets louder, and be it either exasperated, laughing, or what have you, it's still kind of the same sort of not monotonous tone, but very... It doesn't go out of its boundaries all that often. It's very tame, kind of one road kind of vibe. Except for the one where he literally took a clip where he started laughing his ass off because he was playing Satisfactory, and he found a glitch where his car just started drifting off the road and just flying up higher and higher into space. And of course he plays the bloody moon theme from DuckTales when that happens, in post in the video, and he's just laughing his ass off as the car just keeps going higher and higher and drifting off into space, and he's just like, what the hell is going on? Why are cars in all the games I play broken? And it's the first time I hear him break his monotonous... Again, I shouldn't be saying monotonous. I hear him break his normal tone and actually just, like, stomach hurting laughter from him. And like, I even go into the comments and everybody's just like, I had to double take to make sure I was watching the same person. This was him laughing, and not just laughing, he's actually breaking his normal tone of voice. Who is this man? It actually just made it kind of funny because, like, it's the first time you hear it, you're just like, what is happening? And you just start laughing because you get caught up in the absurdity of not just what you're seeing, but also just hearing someone kind of break down and start laughing in a way you've never heard before. And it's just like, what is this? Yeah. I guess another reason why I guess I'm just enjoying just being able to talk like this right now is because I don't get a chance to just talk like this and actually have people, even if they're not listening, just people hearing me, and even having someone just kind of react, because a lot of the time I'm just kind of on my own, and yeah, I'm having, like, conversations with someone. I mean, even though we broke up, I still hang out with Pup, we still have conversations and what have you, but, like, it's conversations that both of us are able to just have a conversation into. I always feel kind of, at least now after we broke up, I always feel kind of odd going into these tangents about the things I'm passionate about. I'll still do it at times and she's cool with it, but it just feels odd because, like, my tangents are always into video games or video game adjacent things. Like I was just talking about Dosh Washington, his big thing is Factorio. He plays that a shit ton, and I've watched a bunch of his videos and sleep to a bunch of his videos because it helps me sleep. And it feels odd going into these tangents. I can't even go into these tangents about games with my nephews. A, because they unfortunately don't have the attention span, and my youngest nephew constantly wants to get something in an edge word of just speaking something all the time. He still struggles with the concept of, like, a conversation having natural signals for when somebody has a turn, and he just goes and goes and goes, and I know that I'm calling the kettle black. Hey, he's my nephew. I'm related to him. Of course I can call the kettle black because we're the same family. But yeah, no, it's I don't know, it's just kind of nice. And then just talking about the different games I have played and just kind of my opinions on them. In which case, like if we're gonna be doing something like that, then like, God, like I've played, like the last stream I did Gold Adventure Gold, and I do have a genuinely fun time with that game. There's still some balancing that could do. Oh, there's a vote. Okay, there's a vote. That was an update today. I'll have to take a look at that one a little bit later. I don't like the idea of a blood girl being in the same pool as me. That is just uncomfortable. It's the picture. Anyways. Oh, where was I? Right. So, and I am enjoying that game. Hilariously, one of the biggest things that I see people complain about that game is the balancing, and I'm just sitting here going like, what are y'all talking about? The balancing is fine. I've never played a Majesty or black and white style game before. This game isn't hard. Once you understand the basics of how the game works, to a degree, it's almost kind of easy. I actually clicked in the discussion. Yeah, what kind of crazy balance is this? When was the first post? May 15th. So, like, shortly after version 1 was released. And this guy's complaining about, like, how he can't beat the first boss, and the first boss is level 30, which is day 3, and he barely has level 10 heroes. And I'm just thinking, like, how do you only have level 10 heroes by day 3? That literally shouldn't be possible.
Oh, I can explain that easy.
Oh, your heroes get killed and you have to buy new ones. That's...
No, not just that.
Oh.
You don't direct your heroes at all. You just let them wander however the hell they want.
Oh, he also goes and says, just, I give him an attack order, but, like, a level 9 hero acts like level 2000 god, only doing tasks when the reward is over 800 gold. It's just like, then you're assigning the wrong tasks to the wrong enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there are enemies that they will not engage because the enemy is too strong, or the general area around them is too dangerous, or that unit will think that enemy that you're directing is too weak and not a challenge. And even then, certain characters react to different jobs. The Muladins, for example, they won't dungeon delve unless the dungeon is actually a challenge for them. I get more success getting them to go into the dungeons after I beat the first dungeon boss. Not the one that attacks you at night, but the one where you actually have to make an excavation for and send a team down to go and deal with. After that is unlocked and you have the next tier of dungeons, then I have an easier time sending Muladins down into the dungeons regularly. And that's because they see that there is now a worthy challenge to go and do it. And then I have to keep the dungeon getting more powerful for them to feel like it's worthwhile to go into it. They also respond more regularly to destroying enemy buildings and defensive quests, as opposed to specific bounty targets. At least that's from my experience playing the game. And you don't learn that unless by just taking the time to experiment and not treating everybody as the exact same, because you're not supposed to be treating everybody the exact same. That's not what that game is. It's not a direct RTS where you select everybody and say go and they go. This is one where it's just like everybody has their own mind, their own objectives, their own goals, and what have you, and you're supposed to nudge them in the direction that you want to push them. One of the better tactics in that game is that you want to make the central hub, if you know where the enemy is coming from, you want to make the central hub where your heroes will most commonly be in their downtime in the direct path of the enemies, so that when they get there, the heroes are already there ready to defend, and that you spend less money actually setting defensive quests. I don't normally do that because the distance between the castle and the dungeon is usually not that big, unless you start on a larger map. So I just do the defense quest anyway, and even then I like doing the defense quest because it's also an easy way to piecemeal money to a bunch of people at once, because defense quests are one of the more universally accepted quests, because there is no... It's just, hold this ground. Here's the amount of money, hold this ground. And the only thing that makes it less desirable for other heroes is how many heroes have already signed on to do that quest, because the money gets divided among them. So if you put down a defense quest with like 1,000 gold, you're going to have like 6-7 heroes, because then that's 1,000 divided by 7, everybody's getting at minimum 100 gold. But like, I have been in these discussions, and like there's so much back and forth about it, how like, because like this guy also says like you have to be like this StarCraft 2 platinum rank sweat lord to get anything done in this game. And I'm just like, what in the hell are you doing in this game? Like,
what
my
game
God.
is he playing?
Huh?
What game is he playing? I now have to ask. That does not sound like the game that we were discussing.
No, exactly. And I've even streamed it. The hardest I've ever beaten StarCraft 2 is on hard. And I had to sweat to do that. There are people that fucking... I watch Giant Grant Games. He speedruns that game on the hardest difficulty, and he went, this hardest difficulty isn't hard enough for me. I'm going to commission someone that makes game mods to mod a nightmare difficulty specifically to my specs to make it as hard as possible so that I feel satisfyingly challenged. And I watched him play it, and yes, nightmare mode is a fucking nightmare. And the freaking tutorial level, what gets called in the tutorial level in nightmare mode? Oh, a fucking battle cruiser right at the very end. And all you have is like your collection of Marines in James Raynor. You have to take down a battle cruiser. Like, no, what this guy talking about, what he's like trying to say, like people who like are sweat lords in StarCraft 2, he's like referencing someone as skilled and talented as Giant Grant Games. Giant Grant Games would look at Gold Adventure Gold and he'd go like, this game is easy. He might have issues at first with trying to get the heroes to do what he wants to do. Fine, understandable. But that's the learning curve of the game! There was another... God, this made me laugh. There was another comment where someone went like, you're forced to do an economy build every time you play this game. It's like, what do you mean by economy build? What do you mean by economy build? This is a city builder. Everything you do is for your economy. Part of the challenge is making sure that you have a healthy goddamn economy. So that like, what? just like the freaking Jackie Chan like face thing. Just what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? That's the thing about this game. It's you. Everything you do is to serve your economy so that you can continue to build your city. It's like one of the grass is green complaints I've ever seen for a game of this genre, and it's just like, what are you talking about? What take is this? That makes no sense. Yes, there are perks that help your economy. Fine. But there is that game, the way that game is designed, there is no such thing as an economy build. That's not a thing. Because everything you do serves your economy. Everything. If you're only building towers and recruitment buildings, you're already fucking up. Because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. It's a city builder. You build a city. It's not StarCraft where all you build are recruitment buildings. The marketplace isn't for research. It's literally so that your people can buy items, sell goods, and have the economy flow so that it goes back into your coffers.
Nah, that's not what this is for, Moon.
Oh, but it's...
You know the truth. It's there just to waste your money. You're not supposed to build anything to help with your economy. Alright? You're only supposed to spam units, alright? You only Zerg rush. Okay? You only Zerg rush in a city building. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing at all.
And the funny thing about you saying that is that you have a fucking Zerg rush option in this game with the Gobos. And the most hilarious thing I find about that is that people complain how useless the Gobos are. Of course, they're one of the weakest units. You want to know what offsets that? The fact that you can get them in fucking bulk. They have the cheapest recruitment building in the entire game, and they even start with an extra recruitment slot. They have two at base. Every single other one only starts with one.
Nah.
So if you set up... Hell, the Gobbo Hut is also the only building that actually gets a bonus when you place it beside the goddamn dungeon. Like, when I say the Gobbos are literally designed to be your disposable infantry, even the building has a bonus when being placed beside the most dangerous thing on the fucking map!
Nah, that's not how it works, man. Stop lying to us. That's not how it works.
But like, my guy, you are not playing Gold Adventure Gold. You are playing something else and saying it's Gold Adventure Gold. Or you're taking this game and thinking it's something else entirely different, because that is not. No.
Nah, that's not how this works, man. Not at all.
Is there balancing that needs to be fixed in that game? Yes. But not in the way people are complaining. I say that because at certain points, the game becomes feast or famine. If you're playing it right and you're playing it well, then it feels almost right. The difficulty feels almost appropriate. I'm looking forward to them adding difficulties to the campaign mode, because I want to play a hard mode now. Because I've basically beaten this game. I've basically beaten its campaign mode twice. And now that I know how it works and how all the different characters are motivated, I know how to direct them. I know how to set up the quests. I know how to get the most out of my goblins, my muladins, what have you. I know what each character is best used for, and even some of the sneakier ways to use them. Again, I heard some people talk about how, like, the cat mages, I can't remember what they're actually called, how they're not that good a unit, because the meta of the game, the meta of the game will boil down to basically using exclusively ranged units, because they are able to do high amounts of damage in rapid succession from a safe distance where they are safe from taking damage. They are squishier, yes, but because they're able to keep their distance, and there's a stackable perk that you can get that increases their range every time you get it. There's even an upgrade in one of the shops that you can unlock that also increases their range. So you can have them be like 20, 30 like cells away and sniping down enemies before the enemy can even see the hero coming into view, which is a little ridiculous. But that also leads into my whole argument about the game also kind of becoming feast and famine, because yeah, it's kind of easy to break the game like that. And I think I've already said it earlier in the stream. In my current campaign, there's a perk I got where any enemy, if any entity dies when I am looking at them, and they are specifically in my circle of view, if you hold control, you can actually see the circle where any like vision effects take place. Any entity that dies, all enemies take damage. I don't know what the damage scaling itself is, but the trigger can chain off of itself. So if an entity dies and it deals damage, and another entity dies as a result of the damage it takes, then it causes it to proc again, and it can just avalanche rapidly and instantaneously, which if a boss has a giant horde as a vanguard, you no longer have to worry about trying to focus down the boss. All you have to do is just lightning bolts one of his minions, one of his lowest health minions, while keeping everything in view, and then as soon as that minion dies, the damage chain begins. All the minions die, which causes it to repeat over and over, and it just escalates exponentially to a point where the boss just outright dies. There's only been one boss that's actually survived. That was a level 50 boss, and he had, like, I want to say, somewhere between 15 to maybe 20% of his life left. So, it's kind of broken. And a part of me, I don't know if this perk was meant to be left in the game or not, because you're supposed to have like a list of perks that tell you which ones are active and which ones are not. It doesn't show up in the perk list. So I can't even remember what the perk is called, and I can't remember, and I don't know the details of it because there's nothing telling me the details of it. I just discovered what it does by literally the exact situation I just described happening. A boss spawned. I went to watch the fight because your units gain a stat bonus when you are watching them, stat and performance bonus. And as soon as one died, they all died. And I'm just sitting here going like, what the fuck just happened? Was this the ability? Was this I think it was like Death Gaze or something like that? Because holy shit, that is overpowered as hell. And now there is no threat of any boss because I just literally watch a minion dies and everything else dies. Or they manage to kill one of my heroes and that still procs the power and all the minions die because my one hero died while I was watching and that just caused everybody else to die. And it's It's a cool power. Absolutely, utterly broken for that game and just removes all challenge. Because if even your own friendly units dying causes it to trigger, then fuck, I don't even think I need heroes anymore to do any survival challenges, because all I have to do is just put all my farms and economic buildings between my castle and the dungeon, watch the enemy just march through, and as soon as they kill any civilian, they all die because my thing triggers, and then they all take damage, and it just cascades exponentially off one another. I don't need heroes anymore. I just watch. Oh no, they killed a chicken, and they all died because of it, of sorrow. Oh no. It's... it's still a fun game. It's still an enjoyable game. Mm-hmm. But, like... Again, the people that are complaining and bitching about how hard this game is, I'm just sitting here going like, we are not playing the same game. We are not playing the same game at all. Or you are just...
You doing drugs?
Or you're doing drugs. Or you are just not allowing yourself to step out of the instant gratification that so many games are used to giving you long enough to learn how to actually grow and earn victory in that game. I mean, I think someone literally said, like, I played Dark Souls games that are easier to manage than this. I'm just like, no, Dark Souls is obscure as fuck. There have literally been people that have had to spend hours doing actual goddamn fucking research, actual goddamn scientific research to figure out how mechanics work in this game. I mean, hell, apparently, there's someone that actually had to take the scientific method to figure out that there are actual stealth mechanics in the original Dark Souls. You can do an actual stealth build! And it took science to figure that out in Dark Souls! Because there's nothing that actually describes how it functions!
Of course, why would we need that information?
It's so wild!
I don't know why we need that information. Calm down, man.
And the only reason why I know that is because Lemon, the Backlogs, another YouTuber I like to watch, and this one I actually like to watch, he did a challenge where he did the entire game in first person. He got a first person camera mod and played all of Dark Souls in first person. And that's when he learned from another person that does Dark Souls stuff about the fact that you can actually do a stealth build, and it relies on the type of armor you're wearing, the weapon you're wielding, your speed, your encumbrance, all those different things that factor into how noticeable your character is and the aggro range you generate. And it's like, you're kidding me. And there is literally nothing that... There's no stat, no nothing that says anything about this. You just literally have to piece it together from logic of what equipment you're wearing. Of course, wearing full plate and chainmail is going to be infinitely louder than wearing nothing but cotton. And it makes sense. But, like, there's never any indication about it, and it's just...
You're wrong. Come on, Moon. That's not how this works. Not at all.
Like, no, you can't compare Dark Souls to Gold Adventure Gold. Yes, the game is still rough. There's definitely some quality of life things that would absolutely make sense to add. There's still polishing that needs to be done with the game mechanics and some instances of the UI, but like, it is a fun and it is a beautiful goddamn game with so much fucking personality. Like, there's, in all the different menus, there are so many different clickables. All the characters have their own voice lines, and a bunch of them are apparently voiced by different streamers, which, honestly, I think that's actually kind of cool. And there's different, like, things that you can discover, and there's so much personality, charm, and care packed into it. You can tell that this is a rookie game dev group because, again, there's a lot of stuff that is still rough, that needs polishing. But you can feel the passion put into the art, the characters, how they behave, how they act. God damn, your god beasts are fucking adorable and charming, and evolving them feels good. When they're evolved, the mechanics of their AI behavior still needs to be tweaked, because something cool about that game is that, like, your god beast will learn different spells and skills based on what heroes that you have hired and that they have worked alongside. So if you have a campaign where you have, I'm just going to pick on the Angel Gobos, you hire Angel Gobos, and they have an AoE. They have an AoE poison, an AoE heal, and they can charm enemies. That's 3 of the skills that they can get. Then your god beast will learn all of those skills. If you get a mage, they will learn all the spells that the mage can do. Speed buff, defense buff, debuffing enemies, they will learn all those spells. Muladins, they will learn how to heal different enemies. They will learn how to do the heavy attack from the heretic Muladins. They will learn how to do the rapid fire attacks from the spearmen. They will learn all the different skills from all the different heroes, which is awesome. The problem is, however, is that they start getting so overloaded with skills and abilities that when they go to actually do a fight, there's too many abilities that it wants to do that it just starts doing all of them and not actually fighting. It takes like 5 seconds for it to go through the entire host of buffs and debuffs that it's learned before it actually goes in to start attacking, and that's if it's in a one-on-one confrontation. If it's a mob of enemies or it's with a mob of friendlies, it almost never throws a punch because it's spending almost its entire time buffing and debuffing absolutely everyone and everything around it, even people that aren't even part of the fight. Whereas all your heroes, if they are not engaged in a fight, they will not cast any buff or debuff. They will simply be going around, doing what they do, spending their money, interacting with other heroes, sparring, going off to do the different quests, such as farming or the dungeon delving. The only time they will actually start casting buffs and debuffs is when they actively engage in a fight, and they will always do it, use their buffs and debuffs before actually diving into the fight. And for whatever reason, I feel like actually this is something I should say to the devs. The God Beast never leaves active combat stance. Because I will watch it just wander town and then immediately get distracted and try and buff literally anyone and anything. Even when two people are sparring, instead of just watching the fights, it will start casting buffs and heals on the people that are taking part in the spar, whereas any of the heroes that see the spar happening, they will simply just stand there, watch, clap, or even place bets on who they think are going to win. I actually, this one I found fun, in a map that I actually played recently. I have a spearman and a gobbo that I start every map with, as a perk that I earned for completing previous maps, and I caught the two of them once having a spar, and when they ended the spar, and the spearman beat the gobbo easily, just because, you know, it's a trained spearman versus the gobbo. So yeah, the spearman beat the gobbo pretty handily, and then I see the icon that indicates that they're getting an item, and I'm just like, those two bet on who was going to win that duel. That's hilarious. That level 23 gobbo saw the level 18 spearman and went, I can take you on. Spearman went, bet. They put money down, and then he cleaned her clock and took the money. I know I just went on a tangent, but like I just remember that story as I was talking about this, and it's just like, actually, I'm gonna say this because it was kind of fun to watch, kind of silly to see, and it's, again, that just leans onto one of the good things about this game, about just how full of personality this game is, and how enjoyable and silly and fun and charming and endearing it can be. Emphasis on it can be. Yes, there are flaws, but it's still an enjoyable game in spite of those flaws. I almost wish that one of the devs from either Majesty or Black and White would find this game, approach them, and be like, hey, here's some, here's some industry advice to how you can tighten these loose ends up, make it more polished, tighten up certain AI behaviors and what have you. Because if they could do that, if they could manage to tweak those details, tighten up those things, and make things a little bit more clearer. Like, you don't have to describe how every hero behaves and what job they are more and less likely to do, but in their stats screen, when it shows their greed, their purity, what have you, instead of just breaking the numbers down, have a page that describes what each stat means, so that people are able to look at those stats and understand, okay, so this hero has this behavior, they're more likely to do these kind of quests, instead of having to just play with each tree, play with each hero, and figure it out. Like, that's easily one of the biggest things that's just holding this game back, is that, and I realized, like, yes, I made the comment about, like, how someone is saying it's just like, this game is too obtuse. It's like, no, and yes, primarily no, but there are things that, like, need explaining to help make things more friendly. Like the yandere, perfect example. The mechanic for the yandere is never explained. You learn that the hard goddamn way. And for the yandere itself, that feels bad. 'Cause, like, you're a new player and you're just going through the game, you kill a dryad or destroy a certain building, and you manage to recruit a yandere from it. Alright, cool. That's kind of neat, a new hero to my roster. And then you're off focusing on something else, watching your Muladin duel Maddened Heretic, or what have you, and then all of a sudden you get the alert, yandere has murdered such and such. Now will you pay attention to me? It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why? What? Why did this happen? How is this happening? What do I do? Why is this a thing? And it kind of sucks, because in a lot of ways, the yandere is a powerful goddamn hero. The fact that she will just summon snakes at random, which are permanently friendly to you and will stay in that location acting as a fucking guard dog for the rest of the map until they die, is incredibly useful. And they're actually competent fighters too. They're stronger than Gobos, which I understand that's a low bar, but they also fight the same way as Gobos, and to make it even better, they have the cheapest weapon upgrade. Everyone's weapon is 450 gold. She only costs 1,000 gold, 100 gold to upgrade. That is literally 4 times cheaper. So she is the cheapest character to get upgrades and equipment for. And she gives you a potentially infinite amount of units. But if you're not familiar with how her mechanic works, you can end up being punished and not even know why you're being punished. Now, the devs came out and they said, okay, we're going to make a special meter when you select her that shows what her attention level is, so that you are able to better understand how much time you need to actually focus and interact with her. Yes, good, perfect. That is exactly what you need with that character, because then you don't even have to explain it. People will select her, see that meter, and then see it go down and see it go up when they look at her, and then understand that, oh, this character wants me to be paying attention to them. And as I pay attention to them, send them on quests, and reward them, they become more satisfied. And the more satisfied they are, the less likely they are to do anything to get my attention. Which ranges, again, from the admittedly kind of cute hijacking your screen, just kind of waving, giving you a pouty face as they point to them, and then looking cute before disappearing off the screen, to murdering the different townsfolk, which can be kind of devastating if they end up murdering your highest level fucking hero, or if they end up murdering your blacksmith who is level 30 because they only gain experience per every item they craft, and the crafting is set at a certain time interval. So that sucks. You don't want that happening. Or if they murder a farmer that has the mad botanist skill, because farmers with mad botanists, similar to the yanderes, they're able to literally farm plants that become permanent sentinels for your farms. They are uncommon and incredibly helpful because they act as a first line of defense. They're not going to win many fights, but at the very least, if low-level monsters or rats end up wandering by the farms, the plants will take care of them. Easy. Cool. Done. And even then, that's something you discover naturally just by playing, which is awesome. And just discovering all these different things, which feels so good. Like, some things, no, don't explain. Leave it in the dark for people to discover. Keep those things. Like the titles. Keep the titles hidden. And have it that people can only find them by experimenting. That is cool. That is good. Like the same thing with how to unlock the Heretic Muladin. Keep that a secret. I mean, it's already hinted at with the lore for both the Muladin and the Heretic Muladin when you read their thing, because when you read the Muladin, it says it can lead to their downfall, and then the Heretic Muladin is after seeing what the world truly is. And then just the fact that they're very kind of not depressed, but very oh, what's that word I'm looking for now? Jaded. They're very jaded to the world and to suffering. They will still fight to prevent it, but they no longer keep themselves to the same standard of, I have to keep everyone alive. No, it's, I can't keep everyone alive. The best I can do is keep myself alive and destroy evil in the process by whatever means necessary. Which is also what leads to the maddened Muladin, the maddened heretics. Because there are those who lost everything, fell into the brink, and weren't able to keep their sanity from it. I'm just kind of cleaning my glasses up a little bit. They're a little bit dirty. Yeah, I always kind of check back on some of the posts. Yeah, because they're too poor. Yeah. Yeah, like the one conversation, it's a constant back and forth because like there are people that are just like, this game relies relies so hard on RNG. It's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't rely that hard on RNG. Can heroes get lost in combat? Absolutely. But the RNG is not nearly as bad as you say it is. Like, I'm kind of glancing through it.
Yep.
This is 50,000 gold. Takes way too many resources just to get a settlement started. Terraforming, planting down a 2,000 gold market, building several unit you only first boss spawn is with what? Suddenly you get 15,000 gold out of nowhere. Oh my god, you are not playing this game. On the 6th mission, Conquest Mode, have a level 45 God Beast. Leveling slow at this point. Yeah. God Beast is dying multiple times in a row to the Plague Bearer Beast. Because it has hordes! It's too much health, too fast, too much damage. Everyone was dying left and right. All this wouldn't be so bad, per se, if you could actually control any of your units. You are not playing this game well. At all. You need 50,000 gold just to feel like you can start something? Oh my god. Oh. Archer Guard towers have been You're not supposed to be relying on Archer Guard towers. Those are accessory, not mandatory. Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh, Christ.
You're lying to me, Moon. That's not what you're supposed to do. They're supposed to be everywhere. That's all you're supposed to do.
Oh.
Nothing else.
Oh, they're bitching about the yandere in this one post. Okay, you know what? Fine. The yandere... Okay, I can't fault them about the yandere. That one's legit. That one is legit. Oh my god. And give random free armor weapons right away. Yeah, melee heroes need blacksmiths to function at all. That is not true. Archer heroes are still usable because their attack speed goes up with just character level. That's actually, it's not... Yes and no. They have an ability that allows them to rapid fire, and their ability to rapid fire improves as they level. They still have a normal basic attack. Yeah, third floor pretty easily if you get another monster boss on second floor, but if you have torture chambers in second floor, it requires very low leveled heroes. No. Hang on. I want to quote this guy just because, like, I'm reading... Okay, you know what? I'm just going to read this whole thing. Even saying fuck it and cheating myself 50,000 gold, it takes way too many resources just to get the settlement started. Terraforming, planting down a 2,000 gold market, building several unit makers, Archers Guild, Barretts, etc., etc. The first boss spawn is way too fucking hard. When I am able to defeat it, I have no idea how. Hell, I don't even know how I legitimately suddenly got 15,000 gold out of nowhere. Because you have so many people and you've dumped so much money. I'm on the 6th mission in Conquest Mode and have a level 45 God Beast. Leveling is very slow. And even my God Beast is dying multiple times in a row to the Plague Bearer Beast. Because your God Beast is meant to be a final line of defense, your God Beast is not meant to be this undefeatable juggernaut. You're not... They are... I mean, again, it goes back to, yes, when a God Beast gets to a certain point, it starts trying to do too much at once, which stops it from fighting efficiently. but even when it does fight efficiently, it is not designed to be this I can solo everything beast. Your heroes, even if they're only at like level 20s and 30s, when they are working together, are able to do way better than your God Beast will ever do solo. He's not meant to be solo. Your God Beast is supposed to be the culmination of all the heroes around it. And in turn, both being the forefront and the support for your heroes. They are able to soak more damage than your heroes so that your heroes can get into the fray and into position. It has too much road to the Plague Bearer Beast, which is the first boss. Has too much health, too fast, too much damage, and everyone is dying left and right. God, I'd wonder what he would say when he faces the second boss, which is this giant magma snail that, as soon as it spawns in, does this massive AoE burst for like 1200 damage. Like, anything that is not tanky will just outright die. And I still managed to beat it on my first encounter, despite losing half my heroes, because I didn't know that! So half my heroes die on the onsets, and I'm like, oh fuck! This guy's got AoEs! Oh no! Oh, this wouldn't be so bad per se if you could actively control any of your units. Right now, you're trying to herd a bunch of angry stray cats to fight something that they don't want to fight. You have to hope
the point of the game.
Part of the point of the game. You have to hope to get the right building blueprints as a perk to have a chance. No, you don't. Otherwise, you're screwed because you get a gobbo house and a mage house. Gobbos wouldn't be so bad if they had any kind of stats. I had a level 25 gobbo dealing 40 damage to a bear, half its level, and ended up dying because the gobbo has no damage or health. I've had a level 20 gobbo solo a bear and win. Which, again, leads me to wonder, what are you playing? And what are you doing? This
apparently not the same game.
Apparently, because just reading this, I can tell him straight up he's doing everything wrong. You need 50,000 gold to feel like you can start doing anything? Then you are completely missing. Like, no, you are being so stuck up your ass that you are refusing to actually learn the game at this point. You don't need 50,000 gold to be able to start doing anything. The 6,000 starting gold you get at the beginning is plenty. It is more than enough. I am now comfortable and confident enough that I can probably end night 1 with between 4 to 5 level 10 to 15 heroes. Day 1. And that's not easy, because your cheapest heroes, which again are the gobbos, are 250 gold a piece. And after you build, what I build at the start is, you get 6,000, you get the market, which is 2,000, the inn is 300, the blacksmith is 400, and then the mercenary guilds range from, the Gobbo Hut is 700, and then it's either 1,000 to 1,200. With the most expensive ones being the Mage Huts and the Holy Nest. I think the Muladins is also 1,200. And then recruiting Muladins themselves cost, I think it's 500 for a Muladin. So even after putting all those buildings down, so 2,700, sorry, 2,700, 3,700, 4,900 gold, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
For like, I'll just say your average, so like you'll have a 1,200 and a 1 grand military building. So yeah, 49 out of the 6K, assuming you don't use any of the money to do any terraforming, which is 5 gold per square, which honestly, if you're just doing little bits of terraforming here and there, isn't that expensive. It doesn't cost that much. You will end with 1,100 gold for your military, and you don't need military right away, so you can. And when you're playing conquest mode, when you don't hire any units, the units get cheaper. A random unit will start self-recruiting, and their price will go down over time. You don't have to wait for it to hit 0, but you can wait a set amount of time so that they become cheaper, and your economy is already beginning to get started. Like, wait for like a farmer to spawn or something like that, or just give it a little bit of time so that they're cheaper and more affordable, and then hire them. And then you hire them, and then you start them working on the farms, which gets them experience and 50 gold every time they cycle through the farm, which doesn't take them a whole lot of time. By the end of day 1, actually not even by the end of day 1, by the time you're like through a quarter of a day, they'll be at level 8. And they'll be strong enough and competent enough that even goblins can survive trips through the dungeon at level 8. And I always set the dungeons to be minimum level 5. Goblins need to be a higher level because they have a much smaller health pool, but the point stands is that they are able to... that you will be able to get heroes to level 8 in a quarter of a day just from farming. Absolutely no problem. And then when you get them to that level, then you start sending them on the dungeon thing, which will get them to their level 10s to 15s. And because they are doing these quests, they start getting money, and then they will buy stuff from the blacksmith, or just when they save up enough money, they will buy houses, and they will pay the taxes of the money that they gather, which goes into your coffers, which happens passively. And I've only recently learned that you can actually change how high you tax your heroes. I've never touched it, and I've been having successful runs, no problem. I'm getting through these things without much of a struggle. On just 30%. You can raise it up to 50-60% before your heroes get too discouraged and leave. I never fuck with it. I don't need to fuck with it. I've never had to. And then at that point, by the time night 1 ends, before night 1 ends, you should have a second set of heroes that may have gotten down to like 60 or 50% of their cost, and you should be getting gold coming in to allow you to buy heroes again. And then you just use the gold to send them on more jobs. And like, you always want to be constantly giving your heroes gold, because when they are making gold, not just from your quests, but going out and fighting, dungeon raiding, helping with the farms, all that generates extra gold, which makes the economy healthier. And this guy is just like, I don't know how I got 15,000 gold. Motherfucker, it's because you started with 50,000 gold. And everybody is doing the work, getting taxed, and then you're getting... Actually, hang on. 15... 30%, 15... 30, 45... Fuck, that's almost 30% of what he fucking uses at the start right away! Alright, so let's suddenly get 15,000 gold out of nowhere. No, that's the 30 fucking percent! That comes back to you after you spend it all building up your fucking city! There you go! You are literally seeing... You literally just said how your economy works, bitching about how you don't understand the economy works in the same goddamn breath, and don't even realize it. Oh my god. Oh. And that is... I'm laughing, but it feels tragic. And I say it feels tragic because, like, I grew up in an era of video games where you had to use your intuition to figure shit out. The game would explain the basic mechanics and the things, the basic mechanics and the minimum of what you're able to do. How all that interacts with one another, you were always left to figure that out through intuition and experimentation. Not everything is explained to you at face value. And seeing this disparity between people in real time with Gold Adventure Gold is painful. Because here I am, all the stuff that I talked about, how I played the game, how I'm making it work, I all figured that out through trial, error, intuition, and experimentation. I figured that shit out, and I managed to get myself to victory. Hell, I even went and had the intuition how different characters react to different jobs. There was nothing that would confirm that. So I made a post about it saying, hey, it's not clear why these characters stop adventuring while these ones are. I don't understand. This is my working theory on it. And I had the devs go, yes, you are on the right track. This is how it's supposed to work based off of these personality values. I'm like, cool, awesome, great. I would like something that would at least confirm, thank you for confirming that I am right, or at least on the right track, but I would appreciate if there was something in game that would let my intuition feel like it's going in the right direction. Again, there doesn't need to be a tutorial for every single hero and breaking down how each hero works. I don't need that. Just have something that gives a base breakdown of how the different traits work, and then that is enough for my intuition to read how all the heroes act. But the fact that I figured that out myself, and yes, I'm a lifetime gamer. I've literally played the original Mario. Played, in air quotes, my dad played it, but like 3 years old, I was in my dad's lap as he played the original Mario. on the NES. Like, when I say I'm a lifetime gamer, like, that is not an exaggeration. I've literally known video games my entire life. Literally, since I can remember, there has always been video games. And I grew up in the era where you had to use your intuition to figure things out. And even then, I know I am not the greatest gamer. Like I said, like earlier, I've literally talked about how, like, I watch Doshington play Factorio. I can't. My brain implodes trying to get to the big picture scope of, like, even mid-game Factorio. I can probably do early game Factorio. It's just like, okay, we need this. Okay, so I need this material and this material. Okay, that's easy to figure out. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, heck, I'm playing with Jara, and Jara's trying to teach me the game. And we were talking about like how our power was being a little bit wonky. And the first thing I realized is just like, oh, the power's not connected. And then I made the post, connected the power, and then I followed the power line back to where our power was. And then I looked at the pumps, and then I briefly remembered how Doshington set it up for a minute. I'm like, wait, something about this doesn't look right. And so I click on the boilers, and then I read how much steam it's able to output and how much it's currently outputting, and I read that it's only outputting half of what it can. And then I look at the setup and I go like, okay, I already see that this is not being efficient. And so I take it, change it, so that the boilers are now running at its optimum efficiency. And by doing so, I ended up doubling our power output. And like that's the kind of like small scale problems I can figure I'm good at. There's an isolated problem. Hey, this needs to be figured out. I can go take a look at it and go like, okay, this is not where its problem is. But as soon as you get me to like, okay, the input of these miners to the throughput of this to create this component for the throughput to get to this component and this material for this purpose and create this sign, that's where my brain just starts to implode. It's too much, and it just no, my brain is becoming mush. It's becoming mush. It's too much. There's too many details. Slow the fuck down, please. I can't do that. But like, put me into an isolated situation. I can't get the entire line. But it's like, hey, we have a problem at this line. I will go there and I can puzzle that out. I will puzzle that small problem out. And I can get that problem fixed. And if it causes a problem behind or in front, then I will just follow the daisy chain. I will daisy chain from problem to problem to problem until it's all smoothed out. I will follow the knot down the line. I can't build the whole line, but I can be the person that will travel down the line and like, oh hey, something's not working optimally here, I'll fix that. Oh hey, this is not optimal here, I'll fix that. That's what I can do. I realize I'm going on an absolute tangent right now, but that's just, this is a talk stream. I'm just going. This is effectively a talk stream at this point. But like, that's where my intuition level is. That's where my capacity to think in games is. And like I said earlier, I can only play StarCraft, like the StarCraft campaign, on hard at the best. I don't have the mental capacity nor the mapped out memory of like all the different shortcuts and keys and everything to be able to micro all the units in a way to evenly distribute damage so none of my guys die, and decrease my firepower. I'm not that good at it. I've picked up on doing it from watching players like Giant Grant Games, but it's not something I'm good at. It's why I feel at home and almost feel better at playing a game like Gold Adventure Gold, because it allows me to direct and make sure that all the units are as powerful as they can be, so I can let them do what they're best at. And I can give them the strength, the skill, the ability to set them up so that I don't have to worry whether they're going to succeed or not. I'm confident that they're going to succeed. And there's no RNG to it. These people that are bitching about the RNG of this and that, it's just like, no, there isn't. Yes, there's RNG, but the game isn't relying purely on RNG. You need to work with what you are given. You can win at this game with whatever you are given. Hell, I will purposely do a map using only gobos. And I can probably win. Only gobos. And I could probably win a map. And I actually have the quote posted right now about the guy saying he's cheating himself with 50,000 gold and all that shit. I'm just like, my guy, like, honestly, after I'm done the stream, I'm just gonna make a response to his post and just be like, then you are absolutely playing this game wrong, and you need to, like, reevaluate how you're approaching this game, because it is just flat out wrong how you're playing this game if you need 50,000 gold to beat the first goddamn boss. That at that point, that is clearly not a game issue. That is a you issue. Especially when there are so many people that are able to beat Conquest Mode with how the game is right fucking now. 50,000 gold, and if I beat the first boss... If you beat the first boss on 50,000 gold? My guy! This is not your game! Like, honestly, if I was the developer of this game, and someone admitted that to me, and still say, even cheating in this game, they can't beat the first boss, and other people are able to beat it, no problem, I would refund him and tell him, here's your money back. You're no good. You obviously cannot play this game. I'm gonna do you the favor. Here's your money back. You no longer have to play this because you're no good at it. Cause, like, holy shit. Oh, holy shit. Oh. God, if I ever do end up making my own game, I'm going to be the sassiest fucking... I am going to be as sassy as fuck goddamn game dev. I may as well have that one skit the artist made. There's a TF2 source filmmaker skit where it's like Spy and Demo Man, and Demo Man is like trying to bully. This guy is trying to bully an artist to draw the artist themselves as a cat girl, and the artist is like, no, and they're constantly like trying to bully them into doing it, and it's just this constant back and forth. And then, like, one of the threats is just like, I'll make an expose video. It's just, expose me for what? Being horny? Don't be sassy at me. I am the sassiest bitch! And honestly, just hearing Spy go, I am the sassiest bitch! That alone was worth that video! I actually kind of want to find it and watch it again now. It's so good. But yeah. Okay. I've been doing this for almost 2.5 hours now. For being not a game stream, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just call the stream here. It was, I don't know, this was a nice change of pace, and I hope people at least kind of enjoyed it and chilled, and it was nice for me to just kind of, I don't know, just talk about random topics about video games and what have you, and I just went on random tangents here and there and wherever. I was talking about how it feels tragic, how, like, there are gamers that just refuse to follow intuition and experimentation and just want, this isn't working how I think it should work! It's just like, no! Get your head out of your ass! Don't judge something based on what you want it to be. Judge it on what it is. And this person is clearly judging it what he wants it to be, not on how the game actually functions, because he clearly doesn't know how to play the fucking game. But yeah. Alright. I'm gonna get going. Wish everyone a good night, a farewell, and I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much. Take care.